Greetings, mind crafters, and welcome to another discussion here today on this glorious day. It is early in northern Vermont here, and the sun's obviously up, but little G and I are out there just getting the jump on the day. We've done a bunch of episodes about that. Most successful people, and success defined in lots of different ways, right? You know, being authentic, and then there's all the other stuff, the square footage and the money and the fame, if that's your shtick. People have morning routines. They are up. They do not let the day get kind of in front of them. That's just true. That really wasn't the point of my whole thing today. So I just kind of threw that in for extra, okay? Extra. So today I want to talk about managing your own sports team. And I was just having a chat with my rooftop friend just a couple days ago about this whole thing. So this discussion is going to be kind of twofold. We've talked about it before about as far as our life minutes and budgeting for those. And, there's nothing more precious, more valuable. And so I say spend them as if they're cash. The only reason I say that is there isn't anything else, metaphorically speaking, because you can't put cash on life minutes, right? But that's sort of the most clear visual I can come up with, because they are so valuable. Just like we wouldn't, spend $200 on a yard sale sweater, probably, or the time looking around and deciding about it, because it just isn't worth it. So we really want to think about when we're spending time with people, and this is just the first part. I know a little bit of review here. It doesn't mean, that doesn't mean to go be a bad person and say, oh, I'm past you, I've outgrown you. Of course not. That's horribly mean. The thing is, people do outgrow each other, and sometimes we get locked into things. I'm not even talking about romantic relationships, although that could be it too. I'm more talking about, like the habits, like we meet so-and-so once a month or once every other month, and we're just used to it, and it's been years, but she or he or they doesn't really bring us joy anymore. And, there's a good chance that she doesn't feel that she feels the same way too. It's not bad, it's not like, you're dreading it because they're annoying or something. There's no spark there. Again, I'm not even talking about romantic stuff. That could be it too, but to really just be mindful. So how I say it with my students is, typically the first years jump into a million clubs. And I'm a big fan of that, because you want to put yourself out there. You want to put yourself out there to have the best college experience. That said, once a month or two goes by at the most, you kind of know you're all about the board game club and not so much about the chess club, or you're all about, the Spanish club and not so much about this, pick, because you're in 4 of them. You don't need 4. And I know I was just having a conversation about Greg McGowan's book, Essentialism, which is great, which actually wasn't even in my head till right now, this minute. It may be on the Jeep on the way here. But anyway, to really, trim the fat in your life in general, because where we put our energy is what's going to be successful. Where we put our energy, more importantly, what's attached to success, actually, if it's authentic, is going to bring us joy, right? So that's huge. So now the second part is, and remember, to whatever with this person, we're not saying to be confrontational and stuff. You just, with honesty and kindness, just start to trim the fat with honesty and kindness. My good friend Father Mike used to say that. You got to say how you feel. You got to say what's on your mind with honesty and kindness. Okay, second part is the sports team part, which I was just having a chat with my, look at that beautiful brook, huh? Geez, just being mindful. Just look at, he's just like being mindful, taking it in. Or he sees a squirrel. Something. Anyway. Okay, so the sports team thing is related to the first one, but a little deeper, because this is a worthiness issue. We've got to know our own worth. If anything else in our life is going to take off and be great, like to live our best lives, we've got to know our own self-worth. And this is a process, and it takes practice like anything else. It takes practice and a lot of, rehearsal, a lot of focus, a lot of attention. Because life, as far as living the good life, can be summed up into 2 things: attention and intention. Where we place our energy is what is successful, remember, broadly defined, and intention, what we set for our daily intention, is going to have a lot to do with how our day unfolds. Okay, so the sports team thing, here it goes. And this rolled out of me the other day. I mean, I said it before, but it really rolled out of me with her, because she's one of the most self-aware people I've ever met in my life. And we were talking about a nudger that was, kind of nudging in there in her life. And here's the thing, it is like a sports team. So let's say you're, make it whatever your thing is. It could be basketball, or team sport though. Basketball, hockey, ski team, baseball team, whatever. There's cuts, at least maybe not when you're 5, hopefully. But like from high school on up, there are cuts. In college, definitely. And you try out, and then you go to the gym door, locker room door, and then there's a list, and you see who made it and who didn't, right? So in your life, I'll use my own name, right? Or let's say Giovanni. You got to be Giovanni worthy. You got to be, your first string is almost like your cabinet, as if you were the president. Like they are your main peeps, who you go to when you're with your biggest joys, your biggest disappointments, you know, your dreams, your heartaches. You trust them implicitly. You can let yourself be vulnerable 100% because you know that they'll keep a confidence and it won't go anywhere. I'm going to keep moving because it's a little chilly still this morning. And you know that it won't go anywhere. They are just your number one. They're also the people that you... Oh, it's a little bit loud snowshoeing today because it's kind of crunchy. They're also the people you go to as sounding boards because you know that they're going to tell you the truth, not what you need to hear, right? I mean, sorry, that's in the back. The truth, which is what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That's what I meant to say. And all the, the compliments and all that are nice. They would probably lead in. They would say, well, these are what I think is good about your idea. Positive, authentic, true. And you might want to think about this because I don't know if you're really shining in that way, if that's what you want to put out there or whatever. I don't know. So you can trust them to guide you and steer you in the right direction. So that you can trust them implicitly. They will hold a confidence. They will tell you the truth. They will tell you what you need to hear versus want to hear. And they will wrap around you without any kind of jealousy when you succeed. And they're right there for you when you have heartaches or something. You like to use the word failure, but let's say a redirection, okay? They're right there for you, right there empathizing, not sympathizing, looking at you from up here, but right with you, like in your rib cage, feeling it with you, okay? So that's your first string. Your second string, it's like, they're also really good people. They're good friends. You go out for lunch. You might go, my thing is skiing, and it's winter right now, so I keep being my example. But maybe you do stuff in the summer, and you enjoy them, and you laugh, and you have a great time. And they're like the second. And you trust them too, but you might not give them your deepest stuff. You trust them like to their own level, right? And you might just reserve the super ultra vulnerable stuff for the first string. And then you have the third string, which are kind of like the small talk people. Often people at work, and that doesn't mean they're not good people. They're really good people. You can bounce stuff off of them like in a work. Whoop, got the glove in the way there. You can bounce stuff off them like in a work sense. And what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You only trust them. It's not like you don't trust them. I'm not saying it's not that they're not trustworthy, but you trust them like at the work level. You're not giving them, what's in your rib cage as much. So they're great small talk people. How about those Yankees? Did you go down? How was it? And can you cover for me while I'm gone? I'll cover for you when you're gone. Nice. You might know a little bit about each other's families and things like that, but it's all on that level. So that's the third string. And then there's your bench. And those are even the smallest of talk people. And we don't really have much of a use for them. They just step in and out at work. Again, they're not bad people. They're good people. Probably, but there's even a little bit less depth there, like water cooler people. And then there's the toxics. They do not make the cut. The bench doesn't make the cut either. They're just kind of like fill-ins to talk about, the weather or something. And then there's the toxics. People who actively try to bring you down. They're like, toxics are just like poisonous individuals. I don't know how else to say it. They not only do they not make the team, they don't have a place on the bench, and they're not even in the auditorium or the stadium. They're not even there because they don't deserve to be. They're not Giovanni worthy. They're not Giovanni worthy because they're just in a place that's, dark. And if they're actively trying to bring you down, that falls into the dark side because that's hatred, right? Hatred's thinking and wishing ill for people, wanting them not to succeed and wanting them to not shine and all that stuff and being jealous and toxic and poisonous. So they don't even get to make it in. They're not even, they don't make the cut. They're not even in the auditorium. Door is locked. Stay out. Thank you very much. Tickets, it's sold out. You can't be in here right now. All right. So that's really it. So you want to manage your life as if it were a sports team. They must be worthy of you. First string, second string, third string. Bench doesn't really matter. They're just step-ins for small talk. And the toxics, ticket box is closed. You can't get in, all right? You're just not part of the team, and you're not even in the audience, and you're not even selling water bottles at the snack stand. That's it. Okay. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the gorgeous, rather chilly, Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.